Hello, I am Mantastic and Fantastic, and today I'm going to be showing you what I have been using for skill inheritance in terms of what assistants I use, what bases I use, and how I'm utilizing them. So first things first, I want to show you how you actually make skill inheritance work. So what you have to do is you need to have a monster that is max evolved. So I'm just going to evolve this DQXQ right now really quickly. And then after they are maxed evolved, they need to be at max level, which she is. She's going to also have to be max awoken, so I'm going to feed her a bunch of modules. Now, I am really interesting or unique when it comes to rare machine rolling because I don't have very many different things, I just have lots of the same thing. So I've got 3 DQXQs, maybe a 4th I might have sold at some point. But the point is I get a lot of the same kind every single time I play, or roll the rare machine. So this DQXQ here, in order to be an assistant for skill inheritance, needs to be awoken. Now I have a very comprehensive skill inheritance guide as well as a skill inheritance advanced strategies guide. So I encourage you to look at that, which will be in the description below. So just click on those links. They'll take you to that as well, give you more ideas, but I just want to show you what I'm using, and a video medium is also helpful. So now that this DQXQ is max awoken, max level, max evolved, I can transfer her onto a person. So one of the strategies I like I discussed in my article, is protecting yourself against skill delays. And skill delays only happen in high-end dungeons where the bosses delay your active skills. So that means if, say, you were at like 3 turns to go for your active to be ready and the boss delayed you by 2, it'd be 5 turns. It can be problematic because sometimes you need those actives for crucial moments. Now let's say for the example that your active is ready to go. It's like you could use it right now, but you get delayed. Therefore you can't use it. If you inherit a skill, it actually extends the cooldown. So that way if you get delayed, you might still be able to use your first active. There's a sliding bar I have in my skill inheritance initial strategies guide. Take a look at that. But it's a way to protect yourself, and if you feed a monster the exact same skill, you actually extend the cooldown. So if you look here, I am basically transferring DQXQ to DQXQ. Now that looks strange in itself, however, this is actually going to protect me completely from skill delays. And the fact that I am not going to skill up my second DQXQ means I have even more of a buffer. So if you look there, I have my regular DQXQ, the base. This is active at 8 turns. So at 8 turns, it's ready to go. Anywhere from 9 turns to 20, it's the second DQXQ. But because it's the exact same skill, it actually makes no difference. That means I have up to 13 turns or 12 turns of protection from skill delays. So unless something's delaying my skills by over 12, I can always use my DQXQ if it was fully charged. And this is a great way to protect myself against, say, people who delay your skills. So I don't have to actually use skill delay resistance or skill delay latents. I can use the recovery ones, which I recommend because of the bonus healing it gives. DQXQ teams have a tough time healing back because of no multiplier, and this helps. If both leaders have it, you have 320 more, it makes a difference in the long run. So with this here, I'm actually much more protected against skill delays. Another strategy you can use is upgrading your existing active skills. So what you do is you take a base monster, such as Wedding Izanami, who I strongly praised, and I gave her another shield. So if I only waited 6 turns, I have her regular active skill. I give 35% damage reduction for 3 turns. However, if I waited for 17 turns, I now get Susano's or Woken Susano's active skill, where I get 50% damage reduction for 3 turns, plus a single turn haste. It's a slight upgrade, but it also protects me against skill delays. And I still can use her shield every 6 turns. Like, just because I have an inheritance on her doesn't mean I actually have to use it. I could just be using it for that protection aspect, and if I were to wait for the 17 turns, I get to use a stronger shield with haste. Because if I'm needing a shield, if it's stronger, why not do that? These are very small things that are just going to make marginal benefits to your team, but it increases your consistency when you're playing higher level content. So as I promised before, I'm going to show you how or what monsters I've used for skill inheritance. So the thing with skill inheritance is you don't need to actually use it. It's beneficial, it's helpful, but you don't have to have every single card on your team with skill inheritance. For instance, one of my things I've done for skill inheritance is Lakshmi on the odd occasion when I decide to run her. I actually inherited Hatsume's active so I can combo off Ryun. Basically allows me to have a 2/3 water board and 1/3 hearts. Very powerful board, lots of damage, it's very beneficial. So you've seen the DQX where I just inherited it itself, like I just gave it herself. So that way I have much more protection against skill delays. Another one I did recently was actually Awoken Venus, and I put Light Kali onto her. So this actually allows me to use Venus's body, which sounds really strange, but actually have Light Kali inherited. Because I was running Light Kali on my DQXQ team, however, her actual stats and awakenings are not as good. By comparison, Venus is much better. She provides 3 rows and auto healing, and same skill lock resist and a single light orb enhance. This is much better than the double 2-prong as well as various skill boosts from Light Kali, which you don't need. The only thing I'm lacking is time extend, and I had extra time extend, so I just threw him on Venus. I already have a character with a rainbow resist, so I actually don't have to worry about surviving 100% gravity, so I don't need to put more on. And I had extra time extends. The auto heal is because I had 1 auto heal and I only had 4 time extends, and I want to make it look pretty so it has all the awakenings. But this is a way to use someone else's body and have a better active skill. And the nice thing about Venus is she's only 4 turns, and that way Kali's at 11. Not too long actually, it's not too bad. And worst comes to worst, Venus's skill is still helpful. Oops, and the next one I used was Claire. So Claire actually inherited Awoken Karen, and again, I was using Dark Resist Latents, but I ran out, so I put a recovery one just to make it filled up and pretty. But Awoken Karen is beneficial for my teams because I run a Pandora for my Lucifer team, as well as Lucifer inherited Satsuki. So because of Awoken Karen's skill generates Dark, Wood, and Water, I'm able to combo off of her with 2 different cards to create a 2/3 Dark board. Very beneficial for me because I lack Zuo, I lack Akachi, and this is the best I can do. Another inheritance I used was Lucifer inheriting Satsuki. I pulled Satsuki from the 150 or 250 memorial roll that after the reset. Hasn't had a skill up rotation that was favorable for me, so I'm just waiting till it rotates to Devlets to max skill it. But it gives my Lucifer team access to poison removal and water combo for both Haku's board and Awoken Karen after I use Claire's new active. And finally, the only other skill inheritance I have so far is the Wedding Izanami, who inherited Awoken Susanoo. Nothing that spectacular, but it's just a way to upgrade my skill and protect against skill delay. So this is the way I've used skill inheritance. I don't need it all the time. I can use it. I can break these transfers and retransfer them back at a later time. It's flexible, it's not permanent, and that's beneficial. Other popular options are inheriting true damage in order to deal with pre-draws, or a delay if you have, say, Orochi. Those are all very beneficial things. Unfortunately, Mantastic cannot do that because they don't have a Ra, they don't have a Red Odin, they don't have Orochi, so on and so forth. So I rely on Fantastic, who has inherited Awoken Ra onto Blue Odin, because Blue Odin's used on Blue Sonya teams. I use Blue Sonya to farm lots of content. It works. So hopefully you found this video informative. I might try and record more often now that I actually have the capability to record. So hope you found this informative. Check out the guides I have linked in the description below. Check out my site that you see there, mantasticpad.com. Thank you for watching, and happy puzzling.